war in Iraq, September 11, everything going wrong, I guess.
The Iraq War.
The war in Iraq.
I'll definitely remember him for the war in Iraq.
The war.
War, killing.
War, yeah,
Killed my buddy.
War?
killing. That's all. That's all I remember about him.
The Iraq War.
For his alliance with Tony Blair and mishandling of the weapons of mass destruction, and going into war in Iraq and bringing Al-Qaeda to Iraq.
Probably the Iraq War.
Creating a atmosphere of a divided country between Republicans, Democrats, rich and poor, and just generally dividing a country that could have been very united around September 11th, and September 11th could have been one of these things that really pushed America even further into a great country.
That time he choked on a pretzel when he first got elected. I thought that was hilarious.
The Iraq disaster.
Arguably his involvement in the war in Iraq, and just because there's been so much coverage and press for it, and everybody's opinionated about it, and it's also touching close to home because we all have friends or family that are somehow involved in this war and this fight. But I think he'll also be remembered for the way he handled September 11th, for example, domestically, and also his effects on the economy, especially at a school like here where we're all focused on finance and things like that.
Probably for the way our world is divided right now, and a failed war in Iraq.
As a Moroccan, as an Arab who's had access to the Western world, came to study in the US, lived in France for a while, I personally will remember George W. Bush as someone who had no idea what anything out of the US borders was. He didn't know anything about the world, and had ideals maybe that he tried to implant somewhere else, and I think just made a big mess of it.
Being the accidental president.
I'll remember him for permanently alienating not only the Middle East but the entire Islamic population of the world, I would argue.
In the near term, I think it's going to be a negative legacy, but in the long term, it's very uncertain and depends on the Middle East conflict.